The scene is set aboard a crowded flight, where the hum of conversation mingles with the sound of engines roaring to life. Passengers are settling into their seats, some engrossed in their devices, while others exchange pleasantries. Among them is a black man in his mid-30s, dressed casually yet impeccably, exuding an air of quiet confidence. He finds a seat by the window, looking forward to a peaceful journey. Across the aisle, a white woman in her 50s stares at him, her expression shifting from curiosity to disapproval. As the plane begins to taxi down the runway, she shifts uncomfortably in her seat, her body language radiating agitation. She glances at him repeatedly, as if searching for an opportunity to voice her discomfort. Moments later, she makes her move. Leaning over with an exaggerated sigh, she addresses him with an accusatory tone, questioning why he is occupying that particular seat. Her words drip with entitlement and disdain, revealing underlying prejudices that go beyond mere inconvenience. The cabin grows tense as other passengers turn their heads, sensing the brewing confrontation. While most remain silent, a few exchange uneasy glances. The black man meets her gaze calmly, his demeanor unfazed by her hostility. He responds politely but firmly, attempting to diffuse the situation without escalating further. However, the woman's aggression persists, setting the stage for a clash that will unfold amidst the confined space of the airplane, a microcosm of society's larger issues of race and identity. As the plane levels off and the seatbelt sign dims, the white woman's frustration boils over. She leans forward, her voice rising slightly above the hum of the cabin. "Excuse me, but I think you're in my seat," she declares, her words laced with a challenging tone that implies entitlement. The black man looks up, surprised by her abruptness, and glances at his boarding pass to confirm his assigned seat. "I believe this is 24B, he replies calmly, gesturing to the seat number above him. "I'm in the right place." His tone is steady, but it only seems to fuel her indignation. Unwilling to accept his response, she scoffs loudly enough for nearby passengers to hear, her disdain palpable. "You must think you can just do whatever you want," she snaps, her voice dripping with condescension. A ripple of discomfort sweeps through the cabin as passengers shift in their seats, some pretending to focus on their screens, while others steal glances at the unfolding drama. The tension thickens as the woman continues her tirade, making sweeping generalizations about people like him, comments that reflect deep-seated biases masked as innocent conversation. "People like you don't belong in nice places," she asserts, her voice rising further as she gestures dramatically. The black man's expression remains composed, but there's a fire in his eyes now, a mix of disbelief and resolve. He takes a deep breath, recognizing that this confrontation is not just about the seat. It's a reflection of larger societal issues that cannot be ignored. This moment marks a crucial turning point, igniting a conflict that transcends personal boundaries and digs deep into racial tensions that persist in everyday life. As the confrontation escalates, the atmosphere in the cabin shifts dramatically. Passengers begin to take notice, their eyes darting between the two figures embroiled in the exchange. Some lean in closer, straining to catch every word, while others instinctively pull away, uncomfortable with the tension that hangs thick in the air. A few passengers murmur amongst themselves, whispering their opinions. One elderly man shakes his head disapprovingly at the woman's outburst, clearly disturbed by her outlandish accusations. Nearby, a young couple exchanges worried glances. They appear torn between wanting to intervene and fearing the potential fallout of getting involved. The palpable unease serves as a backdrop to this unfolding drama. On the other hand, a small group of passengers seems to side with the woman, nodding in agreement with her outlandish claims about propriety and social norms. They offer supportive murmurs, further fueling her aggression. "She's just saying what everyone else is thinking," one of them remarks loudly enough for others to hear. This statement elicits a mix of silent nods and disapproving frowns from those who stand against her. Amidst this cacophony of reactions, the black man maintains his composure, refusing to be drawn into a heated exchange. Instead, he stands firm, his dignity intact even as he faces humiliation. A couple of brave souls finally muster the courage to speak up on his behalf. "That's not right," one woman says, her voice steady. "You can't treat someone like that just because of how they look." Her words spark a ripple effect of support that begins to challenge a woman's narrative and shift the tide of public sentiment within that confined space. The tension in the cabin reaches a boiling point as the confrontation between the woman and the black man escalates. Her voice, filled with indignation, echoes through the plane, drowning out the hum of the engines. "You think you could just act like you own this place?" she bellows, her face flushed with anger. The surrounding passengers shift uncomfortably in their seats, sensing that what began as a petty squabble has transformed into something far more serious. The black man stands his ground, his expression resolute. "I've done nothing wrong," he replies, his calm demeanor contrasting sharply with her escalating fury. Yet, each attempt he makes to reason with her seems to only intensify her rage. She leans closer, invading his personal space, and continues hurling insults that reveal her deep-seated prejudices. Her words are sharp and cutting, aiming to belittle him not just as a passenger, but as a person. As emotions flare when the flight attendant approaches, her demeanor professional yet concerned. "Is everything all right here?" she asks, attempting to mediate the situation. But the woman dismisses her with a wave of her hand, insisting that she is simply expressing valid concerns about safety and propriety. This dismissal only serves to fuel the fire further. Around them, murmurs grow louder as passengers begin to voice their support for the black man, urging him not to let her words affect him. "Just ignore her," someone calls out from the back of the plane. In response, the woman's outrage escalates. She now feels cornered and desperate to reassert control over the narrative. The atmosphere crackles with tension as it becomes clear that this is no longer just a personal conflict. It is a battleground for beliefs and biases that extend far beyond the confines of this aircraft. As tensions rise and the confrontation intensifies, the flight attendants spring into action, trained to handle conflicts with professionalism and care. One of them, a tall woman with an air of authority, approaches the scene, her expression a blend of concern and determination. "Excuse me, can I help you too?" she asks, her tone calm yet firm. The white woman immediately seizes the opportunity to voice her grievances. "This man is making me uncomfortable," she exclaims, gesturing dramatically. "He's in my seat and clearly doesn't belong here." Her words are laced with indignation, aiming to paint herself as a victim in this unfolding drama. The flight attendant turns her attention to the black man, who stands quietly amidst the chaos. "Sir, could you please confirm your seat assignment?" she asks gently. He holds up his boarding pass, revealing his assigned seat number with an unwavering demeanor. The attendant nods thoughtfully, recognizing that he is indeed in the correct place. With this confirmation, the flight attendant addresses the woman directly. "Ma'am, it seems there has been a misunderstanding. This passenger is in his assigned seat," she states firmly but politely. Sensing that the situation requires delicate handling, she adds, "I ask that we maintain a respectful atmosphere on board." The woman's face flushes with frustration as she realizes her aggressive stance is losing traction. The flight attendant continues to engage both parties, emphasizing the importance of mutual respect among passengers. She offers to move the black man to another seat if that would help alleviate the tension. However, he declines the offer, choosing instead to stand his ground. As the flight attendant navigates this delicate situation, her presence serves to remind everyone on board that decency and respect should prevail, regardless of personal biases or conflicts. As the flight attendant works to calm the situation, a sudden hush falls over the cabin. The tension is palpable, and passengers lean in, eager to hear how this confrontation will resolve. Just as the woman prepares to escalate her tirade, the black man takes a deep breath and decides to reveal his true identity. "You may not know who I am," he begins, his voice steady yet resonant, "but I'm actually a public figure. My name is Marcus Reynolds." A ripple of recognition sweeps through the cabin as several passengers exchange glances of surprise. Murmurs arise as people pull out their phones to search for his name. Marcus is known not only for his accomplishments in the arts, but also for his advocacy against racial discrimination, a fact that adds an unexpected weight to the confrontation at hand. The white woman's expression shifts from indignation to bewilderment, her bravado faltering as realization dawns on her. "Wait, you're him," she stammers, her tone now tinged with uncertainty. The fiery accusation she hurled moments ago seemed to lose their power in light of this new information. Passengers who had previously sided with her now regard her with a mix of disbelief and disdain. The shift in dynamics is palpable. The atmosphere transforms from one of conflict to an uneasy awareness of the biases that often go unchecked. Marcus stands tall, using this moment not just to defend himself, but to challenge everyone present to reconsider their assumptions and prejudices. The flight attendant, recognizing the turning point, adds, "Let's remember that everyone on this plane deserves respect." The revelation serves as a powerful reminder that identities are complex and often hidden beneath the surface, urging those on board to reflect on their own perceptions and the consequences of their actions. In the aftermath of Marcus's revelation, the atmosphere aboard the plane shifts dramatically. The initial tension begins to dissipate, replaced by a sense of collective realization among the passengers. The white woman's bravado crumbles as she stares at him, her earlier confidence replaced by embarrassment and confusion. "I didn't know," she mutters, her voice barely above a whisper. Around them, those who had previously supported her now regard her with disapproval. Conversations that have been hushed are now loud and clear, with passengers expressing their disbelief at her behavior. "How could you treat someone like that?" one woman exclaims, shaking her head in disgust. Others nod in agreement, rallying around Marcus, whose composure in the face of humiliation has earned him newfound respect. The flight attendant returns to check on both parties, maintaining a calm demeanor as she navigates the delicate situation. She addresses the woman directly, emphasizing the importance of kindness and respect among all passengers. "We're all here to share this journey together," she says firmly. "Let's make it a positive experience." As the flight continues, Marcus receives encouraging words from several passengers who approach him. "You handled that so well." One man says sincerely, "Thank you for standing your ground." Their support serves as a powerful reminder that solidarity can emerge even in the most uncomfortable situations. Meanwhile, the woman sinks into her seat, visibly shaken by the turn of events. She attempts to justify her actions to those nearby, but her words fall flat against the backdrop of rising discontent. The incident becomes a catalyst for conversation among passengers about race, identity, and empathy, issues that linger long after the plane lands. As they disembark, many carry with them a renewed commitment to challenge their own biases and foster understanding in their daily lives. The incident aboard the plane serves as a microcosm of broader societal issues surrounding racism and identity. It highlights how deeply ingrained biases can surface in everyday situations, revealing the uncomfortable truths about human behavior. The white woman's initial confrontation with Marcus underscores the notion that assumptions based on race are not merely individual failings, but reflect systemic problems that permeate society. As the passengers witness the unfolding drama, they are confronted with their own perspectives on race and privilege. Many realize that the woman's aggression stemmed not just from a misunderstanding, but from a worldview shaped by stereotypes and prejudices. This moment of exposure becomes a catalyst for reflection among those on board, prompting conversations about the biases they may unconsciously harbor. Marcus's calm response amidst hostility exemplifies the strength it takes to challenge racism, showcasing how dignity can defy prejudice. His identity as a public figure adds complexity to the narrative, reminding everyone that individuals cannot be reduced to mere labels or assumptions based on appearance. This revelation encourages passengers to consider the multifaceted nature of identity, how it is shaped by experiences, achievements, and personal stories that often remain hidden beneath the surface. Ultimately, this incident invites a broader dialogue about empathy and understanding in confronting racism. It serves as a reminder that while biases may be pervasive, they can be dismantled through awareness and education. By engaging in open discussions about race and identity, individuals can cultivate a more inclusive society where respect prevails over discrimination, encouraging everyone to recognize their shared humanity in an increasingly complex world. As the flight comes to an end and passengers begin to disembark, the events of the journey linger in the air, leaving a profound impact on all who witness them. The confrontation between Marcus and the white woman serves as a stark reminder of the persistent presence of racism in everyday life. It has sparked conversations that extend far beyond the confines of the aircraft, urging individuals to reflect on their own beliefs and biases. The lessons learned from this incident are multifaceted. For many passengers, it was an eye-opening experience that revealed how easily assumptions can lead to hostility. They have begun to understand that by challenging these biases, they contribute to a culture of respect and empathy. Marcus's dignified response in the face of humiliation exemplifies the power one individual can have in transforming a tense situation into an opportunity for growth and awareness. In reflecting on this experience, it is crucial for society to recognize that confronting racism requires collective effort. It is not enough to remain silent in the face of prejudice. Individuals must be willing to speak up against injustice, just as several passengers did during the flight. This incident has illuminated the importance of solidarity and support in dismantling harmful stereotypes. Ultimately, as people step off the plane and return to their daily lives, they carry with them a renewed commitment to fostering understanding and acceptance. The journey may have been brief, but its implications are lasting. By acknowledging shared humanity and embracing diversity, society can move closer to a future where respect triumphs over division, where every individual is valued not for their appearance, but for their character and contributions.